So all the talk about the Philadelphia 76ers this season has really been about Ben Simmons and the drama or trade talks that are surrounding him. But Joel Embiid has quietly had an MVP-type season, and I want to talk about the 76ers now after Joel Embiid had one of the best performances in franchise history last night. What's up guys, SCJ here, and if you enjoyed today's video, then make sure to give it a like as it helps out a lot, and if you're new to the channel and or enjoy the NBA, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. So last night, the Philadelphia 76ers got a nice 13-point win over the Orlando Magic in Philadelphia, and the team has now won 11 of their last 14 games, which is very impressive. Joel Embiid had one of the best performances in Sixers franchise history, like mentioned in the intro, as he dropped 50 points in just 27 minutes, along with 12 rebounds and 3 blocks. Embiid also shot very efficient as he shot 17 for 23 from the field and 15 for 17 from the free throw line, as he had more free throws than the Orlando Magic did as a team. I attribute that to Embiid's great ability to sell contact, but he of course does get bumped and shoved often down low, so that's of course one of the reasons also. Embiid also is one of 2 players in franchise history now with multiple 50-point and 10-rebound games, as he's alongside a man that's top 5 all-time in my book, Wilt Chamberlain, which really is insane. Embiid also scored the 8th most points per minute last night, as he tied another Sixers legend, Moses Malone, with 1.85 points scored per minute. I'm sure from all those stats, you can tell Embiid is playing phenomenal as of late, and we'll come back to him a bit later in the video. But now let's talk about how, despite him carrying this Sixers team, really, they've been able to put on some of the best team stats in the NBA this season. So this season, the 76ers have put up the 12th least amount of points per game in the NBA, which of course makes sense with how they've missed the presence of Ben Simmons, his scoring, as well as his elite passing, and the team has also had players out with injuries as well as in the NBA's health and safety protocols. However, the 76ers have shot the 10th best percentage from the field this season, coming in with a percentage of 46.2%. The team is also 0.5% off of tying the Clippers for the 10th best percentage from three-point range as well. Despite Embiid attempting the most free throws per game of his entire career, the Sixers are shooting the 9th most free throws per game this season, which, while of course is still good, you would expect to be higher. But when they do get to the line, they do a great job of making their attempts, as they're shooting the 3rd best percentage from the free throw line this season. Despite Embiid's great rebounding, the team is quite literally the worst rebounding team in the league, which is something they'll need to improve going forward. On a positive note for the team, however, they're averaging the 3rd least amount of turnovers this season, and the team is also averaging the 9th most steals per game, which is great to see from them. With Embiid and Drummond protecting the rim, it shouldn't surprise you that they're averaging the 5th most blocks per game this season with 5.8 blocks per game. And finally, the team has played very efficient, as they're the 11th most efficient team in the league, and they miss out on being tied for the 10th spot by 0.5 in the plus-minus column. Just how we mentioned they're 11th in plus-minus rating this season, the Sixers are also 11th in the defensive rating column as well, and miss out on being tied for the 10th place spot by 0.2 points. The 76ers have done a phenomenal job of preventing points off turnovers, as they've given up the least amount in the league, which makes sense with the fact that they average the 3rd least amount of turnovers per game. It also shouldn't surprise you, they've given up the 9th least amount of points in the paint per game this season, with the fact that they're averaging the 5th most blocks per game, so that really does make sense. This season, the 76ers have also held their opponents to the 10th least amount of assists, which is pretty impressive, and going back to how we said they average the 3rd least amount of turnovers themselves, their opponents have gotten the least amount of steals against them, which also makes sense. Also, with how they have the 11th best plus-minus rating themselves, it makes sense that their opponents have the 11th worst plus-minus rating for the season. So this 76ers team has put up some very impressive stats this season, but from things like their low scoring and poor rebounding, it's evident that they do need help, and they could use a guy like Ben Simmons, or just a player in return for him to fill the void that he's left, or just any of the voids that the team currently has. As you can see here, they've gotten great help from their top guys, such as Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, Seth Curry, Shake Milton, Niang, and Korkmaz, but I think it's safe to say Danny Green has been disappointing for them since arriving in Philadelphia, and they can use some more help from Matisse Thybulle offensively despite his great defense. So you could clearly see they're getting great individual seasons from their top guys, but they could use that second star alongside Joel Embiid, as they have great role players and rotation players in place But if they want to get back into the title contention category, they need to figure out the Ben Simmons trade situation and the drama surrounding him immediately, because they're simply wasting years of Joel Embiid's prime, and they're going to regret this years down the line if the situation with Joel goes awry as well, or if they just happen to not get the help that he needs surrounding him, and that's really not a great thing for them going forward. So anyway, guys, that was the short little breakdown on the 76ers team and what they need to fix going forward. But I want to know what you guys think about this Sixers team, any of their players, or anything having to do with the team down below in the comment section. If you made it all the way through the end of the video, then I appreciate it. And like I said before, if you like this video, then make sure to give it a like because it helps out a lot. And if you're new to the channel and or enjoy the NBA, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you stay up to date with all the content on my channel. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'm SCJ, and I am out. Peace.